In this video, we will learn about subcutaneous butterfly insertion. This can be an interesting procedure for internationally educated nurses and nursing students. Let's learn about it first. Subcutaneous butterflies are inserted for safe, accurate, and intermittent administration of medication via subcutaneous injection site. Primarily, this is used in palliative care population for pain and symptom management when the other routes are not possible. We can also administer fluids through subcutaneous route, and that is called as hypodermolysis. This is one of the important topics tested in NCLEX. Let's review the procedure. Before you begin, please ensure you have physician's orders. Explain the procedure to the patient and answer any question if they may have. Gather all your supplies, perform hand hygiene, and don on clean gloves. Also ensure that your patient is comfortably seated and well informed. Select the subcutaneous sites, which can be the sites which we use for subcutaneous injections. For example, upper outer aspect of the arms, abdominal area, thigh areas, and under the scapula. Sites must be changed every 7 days to maintain the patency, and site must be rotated to avoid tissue damage. Two main complications of subcutaneous injection or butterfly are lipoatrophy and lipohypertrophy. To avoid these complications, site rotation is must. Choose the site and cleanse with chlorhexidine or alcohol swab and allow it to dry. Remove site clamps from subcutaneous butterfly if preferred, as clamp is not required after insertion. Remove the vent plug and attach a needleless connector, luer lock to the side Y port. Now ensure the bevel is up and catheter is not extended over the needle tip or bevel. Pinch the textured yellow wings together, textured side down. Gently pinch the skin fold and insert the needle at 30 to 45 degree angle to the full length of the needle. Hold the wings flat on the skin firmly. Pull back on the white safety shield in a straight continuous motion until the safety shield separates, leaving the cap. Apply an off-site sterile dressing, for example, Tegaderm. Now label the dressing with the name of medication and concentration, date and time of insertion, administrator's initials, and administrator's clinical designation, which means the person who's inserting this butterfly. Some key points to remember with subcutaneous butterfly: do not flush the tubing, because medication remaining in the tubing will be given during the next administration. Always assess the site for redness, bruising, swelling, tenderness, leakage, or discharge. That tells us that resite is required. Subcutaneous site is to be changed every 7 days or sooner. So most of the time you would see the physician orders written as change every 7 days or PRN as necessary. To optimize the comfort and medication absorption, the maximum amount of medication administered at one time should not be greater than 2 ml. If the volume is greater than 2 ml, 2 sites can be used to deliver the same amount of medication. If the blood appears in the tubing, remove and discard the subcu set and select a new injection site. We hope you enjoyed learning about subcutaneous butterfly. Stay tuned for more videos and subscribe to our channel. Hello nurses and nursing students. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about subcutaneous butterfly. What's next? Next is let's just practice some NCLEX style questions associated with this skill. So here is the first question on your screen. A nurse is preparing to insert a subcutaneous butterfly for pain management. What primary action should the nurse take to minimize the risk of infection? Here are your 4 options. I want you to pause and think for yourself which one is the answer before I discuss. Alright guys, here is the option number A. Select an insertion site with minimal subcutaneous tissue. What do you guys think? That is incorrect, because the action does not directly address the risk for infection. So that is not an option. Option number B. After insertion, dress the site with gauze and secure it with tape. What do you guys think? That is unfortunately incorrect, because dressing the site with gauze will cover the insertion site. and which could actually lead to infection and not being detected early. A subcutaneous butterfly insertion site should be dressed with a transparent dressing to frequently assess the site for any sign of leakage or infection. So that is incorrect. Let's just look at option number C. Cleanse the insertion site with chlorohexidine or alcohol before insertion. What do you guys think? I think that's what you guys learned in the video. That is absolutely correct. This is a primary action by the nurse to cleanse the site with an alcohol or chlorohexidine to reduce the risk of infection by decreasing the presence of microorganisms on the skin. All right, now let's just look at the last option. After insertion, apply the pressure to the site to prevent leakage. What did you guys learn in the video? That is incorrect because this is not an accepted practice and not necessary. The primary focus and the priority is to minimize the risk of infection during the insertion and securing this device. Are you guys excited for the next question? I am, right? So let's just move on to the next question. This is the question number 2 on your screen. What factors should the nurse consider when selecting an injection site for subcutaneous butterfly? Here are your 4 options. And again, pause the screen and think for yourself which one is the answer before I discuss. Okay, guys, let's just start with option number A. Choose a site close to a joint for enhanced absorption. Use some critical thinking here. That is incorrect because the site may limit the mobility and increase the complications, so we won't be using that. Option number B, use of a small gauge butterfly for reduced client discomfort. What do you guys think? That is incorrect because this does not affect the selection of the site. Option number C, choose a site away from a bony prominence. And I think that seems very logical and correct because this is an important consideration when you are selecting the site for subcutaneous butterfly. Option number D, select the site with visible veins for easy absorption. That is incorrect because visibility of the vein is not the primary consideration of subcutaneous butterfly sites. Proper technique and patient comfort are most important factors in this site. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's just move on to our next question. Okay, here's question number 3 on your screen. During insertion of subcutaneous butterfly, for pain management, the nurse notices blood return up the butterfly tubing. What is the next appropriate action? So here are your 4 options. Think for yourself before I discuss what the answer is. All right, guys, now let's just look at option number A. Withdraw the needle and move to a different site. And that is the correct option because the finding of a blood return up the butterfly tubing during an insertion may indicate that the needle has inserted actually into a blood vessel. This is not the intention of a subcutaneous butterfly insertion. So the correct placement for the subcutaneous butterfly is and should be in the client's subcutaneous tissue, not in the blood vessel. So therefore, the best action for a nurse is to withdraw it and then try it on a different site. I know you guys already know that B and C and D is not an option, but let's just go through it quickly. Option number B, continue with the injection of the medication. Do you think that's advisable or you should be doing that? No, that's incorrect. Injecting medication directly into the vein can lead to adverse reaction and is not the purpose of subcutaneous butterfly, which is to deliver the medication actually into the subcutaneous tissue for absorption. All right, look at the option number C. Apply the pressure to the site with a gauze. What do you guys think? That is also incorrect. While this action may control the bleeding, it does not address the issue which is being asked to you guys in the question. Look at option number D. Pull back on the plunger of the syringe to aspirate more blood. What do you guys think about this? That is incorrect because this is not a recommended action and is not appropriate for subcutaneous butterfly. So the needle needs to be withdrawn and has to be moved to a different site. Okay, are you guys up for the very last question? Here you guys go, the last question on your screen. The nurse is working on a palliative care unit and is preparing to insert subcutaneous butterfly for pain management. Which gauge needle is used for subcutaneous butterfly insertion? Here are your 4 options. And you guys must be thinking this is no-brainer simple questions. And that's true. In NCLEX, they ask you sometimes very basic simple competency level questions. All right, guys, I hope you thought about it. Now let's just discuss. A, 18 gauge, that is incorrect. That is too large of a gauge for subcutaneous injection. Option number B, 22 gauge, that is also incorrect. A smaller size gauge should be the answer for this one because 22 is still large. How about option number C, 25 gauge? That is correct. This needle size is appropriate balance for the medication flow and the patient comfort. So that's what you would be using. Option number D, 30 gauge is incorrect because that is too small of a gauge that should be going into the subcutaneous injection, and that is not appropriate. That's appropriate for intradermal injection. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed learning clinical skill as well as NCLEX style question practice. That's what we do at FPN-PC. We are always here to support the students, and make sure you contact us if you have more queries. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video, share it with your friends. Thank you very much.